Hello, it's Alex, and on today's video, I'm going to show you how to make your Felt Whale Plushie from your summer reading take and make kit. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so in your kit, you're going to find the following things. There's going to be an instruction page. Magnificent, I know. And there's going to be your template page. There's also going to be a needle and thread. Careful, it's sharp. Then you're going to have your pieces of felt. You're going to have 2 body pieces. They may not be this exact color. And then you're going to have your 3 pieces. The long piece is for the bottom side. There's a little thing, you'll see when we get down to it. This is going to be for your plume, the water plume up top. And this is going to be for the fin, the little round part. So if you're looking at it on here, this is going to go here. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. And of course, these go here. Okay. Other things you're going to need that are not in your kit, but hopefully you have at home. And if not, we'll figure it out. You need a pair of scissors. Got to cut things. That happens. You're also going to need a pencil or marker. Pencil, I believe I prefer because that way the marks are light, but if you need a marker, go for it. You need something a little darker. All right, the first thing you're gonna do when you get your kit is you are going to cut out the shapes. Okay, so then the next step you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out the shapes from the pieces of felt. So basically, you're going to put them on top. And then you take your scissors and you cut. In the interest of time and doing some moving magic, we're gonna do it like this. Rad. There we go. Ready to go on that. Your shapes are ready. Now, if you look on there, you can see the little ones, I kind of just cut with the paper under. You know, there's no marks on it. These ones, you can kind of see there's a faint pencil mark right around there. That's why I like the pencil, because it's harder to spot. The other thing about it is once you sew it, your stitches will kind of cover that and it won't be visible. Or, yeah, that's basically where we got that. All right, so we have our pieces cut. Next, needle and thread. I've kind of already gone ahead and done some of the legwork on there for you. This is 8 meters of thread. You're not gonna need that much thread. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make it about 30 inches. Now, if you're having trouble threading the needle, there's 2 things you can do. The nice thing, I've given you embroidery skeins. The nice thing about this is, if you look at it very close, you can see it's kind of multiple threads together. Do you see that? So if you're having trouble threading your needle, you can take it apart and use smaller ones. It'll make the stitches not look as vibrant, but it's an easy way to get through it. The other thing you can do is you can make it like a shoelace. You take a little bit of Scotch tape, put it on the end, that's what I've done, and thread it right through. That way it keeps it together and you can kind of force the plastic through the needle there. So anyway, once you have your needle threaded, we're gonna make this about 3 feet, 30 inches approximately. I know, 30 inches. 3 feet is actually 36 inches, I get that. All right, so we're gonna get this going, hopefully. And we're gonna show you probably the most important step of all this. If I can get it going, there we go. 30 inches, probably about there. All right, so once you get it about where you need to be, we're gonna cut this off, and I'm actually gonna cut it twice. I'm gonna cut it there, and I'm gonna cut it here just so I can tape that little piece of tape off if you needed it for the thing. All right, brilliant. So now we have this, you wanna make it about even. Stretch that out. So this is a very important step. You're gonna wanna make a tailor's knot. So you have your end here, you have your needle here. Basically, you're going to invert it, and you're gonna keep your 2 ends in one hand here together. Do you see how I do that? I switch that over and I put my thumb on top. The next step is you're gonna take this and you're gonna wrap it around about 4 times. And then take your pinch, you're gonna go up, you're gonna take your pinch thumb and hold all of that together. And with your other hand, you're gonna take the tip of the needle, be very careful, it's sharp, And you're basically gonna pull through, if we can do it. Sometimes we can't, but you're gonna pull, 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 pull. And if you look at it when you're done, you'll see you have a nice little knot at the end. And the key part about that is what it does is it makes that stopper for when you do that stitch, right? So that's ready to go. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to draw a little face on here. We're gonna have a little eye. And just sketch that out. Doesn't need to be perfect. Sketch a little eye. And you're gonna sketch a little mouth. Right? There you go. Little eye, little mouth. All right, so we're gonna stitch that. So basically you're just gonna take your thread and you're gonna go up. Try to poke as close to that eye level as you can. And just go all the way up. And then you're gonna go to the end of the eye, wherever you wanna end it, about there. And you're just gonna pull right through. And there you go, you have a nice little eye line. Bend it a little bit. And then we're just gonna finish the stitch. We're just gonna go right through here on the back side. If I can remember this. There we go. And if it's not perfect and it's not ideal, don't worry. If you need to redo stuff, that's okay too. Catching that other thread there. Yeah. And then you're gonna tie a little loop. You know, and ask your parents, whoever more the big sewer is in your house. In my house, when I was a kid, my dad was actually the sewer, which is inverting gender norms early on. Exciting. Yeah, so you're just gonna make a little stitch there. You know, and don't worry if you have extra fabric or if things are large or, you know, you'll work it out. So anyway, there you have a nice little eye, and then we're just gonna nip this right here. Whoop. There you go. And you can actually trim that up if you wanted to, or you can leave it. It's gonna be on the inside of the whale, so it doesn't matter so much, right? All right, so that's one stitch down, many to go. All right. So now you're just gonna do the mouth. I'm just gonna make another tailor's knot. And if you get really good at this, you don't have to do all the steps of it, but I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna do all the steps of it. So we just do that. 3, 4, and we're knocking the camera around. It's great. And just make another tailor's knot. Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna do the mouth. There we go. And this one's gonna be a little more tricky. So we're just gonna go like that. And then we're gonna go down a little bit. And then we're gonna go up. You're gonna go to the right of the mouth. And you're gonna go up. And then we're actually gonna loop it under so it catches. So that gives it a little bit of bend. Gives it a little bit of panache. So we're just gonna see how that knots in right there. And then you just go to the end of the mouth, wherever you wanna set that up. Let's go right there. There you go. Kind of a smug one. Not so curvy, but that's okay. It's kind of a meh whale, but that's all right. That's a good time. And then this time to stitch it, we'll just do a loop right close there. And we'll go through the loop. Hopefully that worked. No, it didn't work. That's okay. Having trouble stitching it. That's all right. What we'll do is we'll go back through here. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look fantastic. Just have fun, learning something new. That's the key takeaway from all this. We're just learning something new. Or if you've done stitching and you think I'm crazy, well, there's always that too. All right, that'll hold, so we'll just cut that. There you go. If it doesn't hold, like that didn't, that's okay too. We'll figure it out. You can always, with the embroidery skein, you can always just tie a knot that way too. But all right, so we have our face. Next up, you're gonna stitch the bottom on. So this is the little belly side here. Just gives it a little bit of definition. So we're gonna make our tailor's knot. Like I said, the tailor's knot is the most important part of this because you have to do it over and over again in order to make this work. 2, 3, 4. Come on, come on. The key is to hold it to make sure it makes that knot. And you're just gonna stitch this. Just very simple stitching. Just a couple loops. Nothing crazy. Go up right next to it. Just pull right down on the other side. There we go. And it's a little loose, so we'll go back over and we'll do the end part. Which is also good because it does the back of the stitch. There we go. See how nice that looks? It's great. Then we're gonna stitch it through. And this part, I gave us doing it that way, I gave us a little bit of a cheat code because I can take this and I can go around that. And then I can loop it through. Or not. Finishing stitch is something I need to work on. You'd think I would have that before doing this, but you know, that happens. It's okay. And you get your needle and things, and it gets a little crazy. And there we go. There we go. Now we can cut that off. Boop, boop. All right. And you see how that kind of spread apart there? Again, that's another way you can get by on things. But we're in. We're stitched. We're ready to go. The mouth might pop open, but we'll get there. All right. We're almost there. Last thing, we got a couple more pieces to do. But this, so next will be the fin. And it's gonna sit right about there. Just the same thing you did with the bottom part. Oh, what did I not do? I didn't do my tailor stitch. That was just pull right through if I didn't do that. 2, 3, 4. Once again, just right through. Back around this way, we'll kind of loop it on a little bit. And you can play around. These stitches don't have to be perfect. They don't have to look a certain way. You can do it however you like. It's your whale. At the end of the day, you're not making this for me, you're making this for yourself. And that's the beauty of making things. Doing it the way you would like to. But there you go, that looks really nice actually. I'm really proud of that. Sorry, not sorry. Then we can just loop this around here. And then that makes a little X, and we'll go through the little X. Try not to grab that tail there. And there you go. And we'll cut that. Now I'm not sure if I have enough thread for the last step, but we'll try it. But there you go. Basically that part of the whale is done. So now you're gonna take your flume and you're gonna put it here, as it should be. Unless you wanna do something else. Again, it's your project. It's your whale. So we got that. All right, we're gonna make another tailor's knot. I learned to do it a certain way, so you can see that, because I have to change my hands each time. I'm like, ah, yeah, that, and then, oh wait, I learned it the other way. That was lucky. I let go, and it still went there. There you go. So you line them up. You have your little thing there. If you don't want to do that right away, you don't have to, because this can get tricky. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a blanket stitch, which is a little bit different than what we've been doing. So you're going to take the whale, and you're going to hold it, and you're going to prop it open, and you're going to go through this way once first, and you're going to loop around, and then you're going to go about in the same place. And this time you're going to go through both layers. And that's going to start your stitch. You can see that kind of hook there. And then when you go down, you're going to go down, around, and you're going to loop under that stitch. And you see how that's reinforced? It kind of makes a nice little thing, right? So the blanket stitch, you're just going to do that all the way around. You want to try to keep it even so it looks nice, but if it's not even, that's okay. And then you're just going to go back down, and you're going to loop through the last stitch you made. Just I'm not on camera. See how nice that looks? And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. I sure as I'm not keeping it even. Another stitch, and we're down and around and through, and it's at an angle, so it's a little tricky. It's a little advanced. So you know, if it's not perfect, you should see my first attempt at this. It was not great, but that's pretty good. Pretty good. So you're gonna go all the way around. Anyway, so that's how you do a blanket stitch. That's how you get that going. And I'll check you back in a moment when I get to the plume. All right, so now we're ready to attach the plume. So we're gonna sandwich it there. So you take it and you're gonna sandwich it between your two pieces of body felt. You can angle this however you want. All right, so once we're there, we're just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna go, make sure we're going through all three pieces of felt and pull your stitch through. There we go. We're gonna go back through and attach that blanket stitch right on the edge there. And then we're gonna go through one more time, all three pieces of felt. Tendency is I want to bring it close to my body, and that's hard to do with the camera on. So that's why you see me struggling with it. I hope I'm doing all right. If you have any problems with this, of course, you can always reach out to me here at Churchland. We'll get it going for you. We're gonna take this and we're gonna loop it between the second and third parts of the plume. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go like that, and we'll continue pulling. Pull like that. You can also just stitch it across as well, but I like doing a little bit of security that way. You know, also I think it looks neat. Again, it's your thing, you can do what you want. And then we'll pull that stitch through. And then you just continue doing the blanket stitch all the way around. And I'll show you how it looks at the end. All right, so you can see I've done my blanket stitch almost all the way around. I have my nice little whale all ready to go. Now you notice he's not very plush. So where your bottom is, I've left a little hole open right here. So you're gonna take the scraps that you had from all your extra little pieces, and you're just gonna stuff them in there. Now alternately, you know, if you have a parent or guardian that does quilting, you could use quilt stuffing, and that would be pretty cool as well. But this is just an easy way to do this with the extra supplies there. And this is kind of big, so we'll cut this, we'll take our scissors and we'll cut this up into more manageable pieces. This is good if you're angry, you have aggression, you can be like, ah, you know, things like that. We'll cut some more pieces. There you go. And we'll take this and we'll shove it in there. You know, how plush you want it depends on how plush you want it. Do you want it to be really thick? Do you want it to be okay? You know, the tail's a little tricky. If we can get some smaller pieces, see what I can do in here. That's okay. Get these in here. There we go. All right, so now we have our plush whale, and we're gonna finish it off. So, coming a little lower than that, so it doesn't cross lap. We kind of did that a little bit here. We cross lap those stitches, but that's okay. Blanket stitch. That one little last bit to do. Finish it off. All right, we're here. We finished the blanket stitch. We're just gonna... That's okay. And we'll cut that. And there you go. One felt plushie whale. And you know what's cool about it is you made it. It's yours. Nobody can take that away. Another cool thing you can do is if you want to have a hole punch, you could punch a hole in it. You can make it a backpack charm. You can make it a keychain. You can put it on the dash of your car. Anyway, that's how you make the felt plushie whale. It's a lot of steps, you know, and mine's not the prettiest thing, but I'm glad I did it. And I learned some sewing skills in the finish. I hope you learned something too. And I hope you're having a great summer. And we'll be here for you at Portsmouth Public Library. Until then, stay safe and have a great day. Bye.